Hard to believe that we're already here, eh? More hard to believe that that we went down 4-1 to Toronto and then didn't come back. Fuck, that requires a capos. What I want you got my heart burns the candle. The candle feeds the flame. Wow, that was loud. Learning new songs is kind of difficult. Bruins fans, I don't know, got nothing for you. Head back to camp because that was 5-2 against the Toronto Maple Leafs for the final game of the regular season. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I'm host Justin Freeman, and this game was. I mean, I can't really be too mad that the Bruins lost this game because this was the most low stakes game that the Bruins have played all season, except for maybe like the first game of the season, except for maybe like the second game of the season where they lost 6-3 to freaking Philly. I don't know. That game didn't really feel like it had any stakes to it. But this was, I mean, it was game 82. It was essentially this game was essentially the NHL equivalent of the of NFL's Week 17. Nobody plays their starters because everybody's because the teams that suck don't want their good players to potentially get hurt and potentially be out for a good chunk of the season, unless they're for a chunk of next season, unless they're in a position to play spoiler, in which case is go right the fuck ahead. And teams that are in a playoff position aren't playing their starters because they don't want them to get hurt before the playoffs, and also just to give the people a taste of what's to come in the pipeline. And so it stands to reason that the Bruins would sit Marchand, Bergeron, Hall, Pasternak, Grzelcyk, Lindholm, and McAvoy all in this game. So we're playing without 8 of our absolute best players. And honestly, it's fine. It's fine because Toronto was doing the same thing. The best player that Toronto had on the ice was William Nylander, and honestly, that makes sense. And the best player we had on the ice was Jake DeBrusk. But I mean, there was definitely still stakes here because the Bruins came into this game 1 point behind Toronto. But if we were to be at all tied with Toronto, sorry, did I say tied with Toronto? I meant tied with Tampa. If we were to at all tie with Tampa after the events of this game, we would have the 3rd seed in the division, and that would require us to play Toronto in the first round. However, that obviously did not happen. So we are now facing the Carolina Hurricanes going into so we are now facing the Carolina Hurricanes to go into the playoffs. And a lot of people are scared about that. First of all, Antti Ranta and Freddie Anderson are won the William Jennings Trophy, making them the first goalie tandem to have ever won in the William Jennings when both goalies are playing on that team in their first for their first season. When it is both goalies' first season for that team. So they picked it up easily. and they outshone everybody else in the league. And also the fact that the Bruins have been outscored by the Carolina Hurricanes 16-1 across 3 games. We've been meanwhile against the Leafs, we've been outscored 16 to 16 to 8. So we've had a lot more luck against Toronto. Against both of them, we're 0-6, but regardless, I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable about losing about going against Carolina than I would against Toronto. Because first of all, Toronto has a much more powerful offense, and second of all, Carolina was privy to. Carolina had its fair share of humiliating losses to bad opponents. It's Toronto. It sort of felt like their really bad losses, except for the 5-2 loss to Montreal, getting swept by Arizona. There were a lot fewer bad losses that Toronto suffered. So I feel a little bit better about playing against Carolina than I do Toronto. And I know, as a Bruins fan, I shouldn't be scared of Toronto, but this year smells a little bit different for Toronto. And I'm hoping that we come out of it on the other side going into the second round, and I hope that Tampa goes into the second round. It's weird that I don't fear the top 2 seeds in the in the entire conference, but I fear Toronto this year. Now let's get started. The Bruins start pretty easily, pretty well off with literally 70 seconds into the game, and Craig Smith tries a wraparound. It gets jammed up against Eric Källgren, and Trent Frederick is right there to just shove it through the 5 hole to put the Bruins up 1-0. Really good start, and then we just don't. I mean, sure, this was the call-up game for pretty much everybody. You had Oscar Steen back, you had Anton Blade, you had Jack Ashawn, you had Josh Brown. You even had freaking who is it? You had sorry. I'm trying to freaking find. Sorry, I'm trying to. Fuck, who is it? Chris Wagner, that's who it was. I was thinking Stephen Kampfer the entire time, and then I was like, oh no, he retired. I'm still a little bit sad that Kampfer retired, but he was also getting along in the tooth. But yeah, Chris Wagner played all 62 games for the played 62 games for the Baby Bruins this year. Didn't really do too bad. This is his first time playing this season. And however, this is also this game also made Charlie Coyle the only player on the Bruins to have played all 82 games this season. And the last player to do so was Pasternak in 2018. And this isn't like a freaking this isn't counting 2020 the 2020 season when the 2020 70 game season or the 2021 56 game season. This is just counting 82 game seasons. But sorry, shortly after Frederick's goal, Mark McLaughlin ends up high sticking Mark Giordano in the face, and a little part of it actually gets it actually smacks Giordano in the face, and that ends up being 4 minutes for high sticking. I didn't entirely like this one, but also like but it was also one of those penalties where like, all right, I can kind of see why. I can kind of see why it ended up being a double minor, but I also am like, fine. And once you know it, Mark Giordano ends up shooting from pretty much the blue line, and after the first half of the double minor resolves, so we're at like 156 or something like that. It's sort of about the same time as the Bruins, sort of about the same time on a double minor that the Bruins got their second power play goal in the last game. But the shot from Giordano bounces off of Ilya Mikheyev and into the net, 1-1 game. And then it doesn't really get better. McLaughlin ends up messing up the puck handling because from a dump off from Forbert, and William Nylander is right there to just take the puck, just scream down the ice and get the easy one-on-one, the easy breakaway goal on Swayman, and to put the Toronto up 2-1. And then we get even more vintage Bruins because they completely fail at clearing the puck, and Morgan Rielly shoots from pretty much the blue line, and Nick Abruzzese scores his first ever NHL goal. It deflects off his stick and into the net for the to put the Toronto up 3-1. 6 seconds left in the period. Bad net front defense. Poor clearing attempts. Fucking hell. Kill me. In the second period, really the two biggest pieces of really the two biggest things were that Jake DeBrusk that Jake DeBrusk took a really hard tumble into the boards, and I thought, oh shoot, no, not like this, not to DeBrusk. He was fine. He ended up coming back into the game later. He ended up scoring another power play goal, which is freaking great. But Bruins had some nice looks this period. Never really materialized. But one thing did dematerialize. The entire video broadcast just cuts out for like a good 5 seconds, but it's just the camera. So you can still hear Jack Edwards saying like, well, the video broadcast is gone, and it came back. I thought I was having a stroke, which just the fact that this man nearly passed out from calling the Bruins overtime winner against Montreal several years ago with that insane the Bruins pause knock out Montreal. The dude in top 10, if you look up top 10 and best Jack Edwards calls, he even says that like he was seeing stars in his periphery and he thought that he was going to pass out. Yeah, that's really all that happened in the second period. It was kind of lame. In the third, Andy Brickley was talking about how Bruce Cassidy has pretty much said that Connor Clifton and Derek Forbert have combined for great chemistry on the third pair, and that looks to be the third pair going forward. And that really just made me unhappy that Jakub Zboril went down as early as he did. Could you imagine if a dude of Zabora's quality ended up staying healthy all season? I honestly could have seen him on that third pair with Forbert. Possibly I could see him. I could see our pairings being freaking McAvoy Lindholm, Grizzly Carlo, Forbert Zaboral. Well, I still don't know why Clifton is here. I think it's more so just because he's here because we need defensemen no matter how shit they are. But Jackson, oh yeah, I forgot Jack Studnicka is also up. Studnicka had a couple scoring chances and none of them really ever capitalized. And one of them ended up going all the way back to the Bruins and to the Bruins end, and of course William Nylander's is still there, and he just completely dekes out Swayman, who's like kneeling forward trying to get it, and he just goes whoop, whoop, into the goal for a 4-1 in game. And this was pretty much where I was saying, bring in Carolina. I know it was a 4-1 lead with 10 minutes left. But we also have to take into account that that 2013 Toronto Maple Leafs team wasn't that good. It was not good. And it was sort of like, how the hell are we here? We don't deserve to be here, but we gave this series we gave the Bruins a hell of a run, and that was just a tragic way to go out. That was more that series. That series honestly said a lot more about the Bruins than it did about the Leafs. Yes, with great. Great, we were up 3-1. We almost freaking blew the entire thing. It sucked, but I mean, hey, we almost did. The entire fourth line is just completely crashing the net. In the net, you got guys that are normally on the fourth line. You got Foligno, you got I think Lazar, you got Nosek. I think that was the third line tonight. They're all just going. They're all just crashing that, trying to get through, and Foligno just taps it through the 5-hole of Eric Shalgren, and that not only closes the gap to 2. That ends up being the 500th point for Nick Genjutsu. Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe. I am after tonight's game. I am almost certain that you just despise happiness. Is because they challenged the goal for offsides. Unfortunately, it is. There's no goal. So he's back to 499 in points. And honestly, I don't know why you did it. Not just because it took away the 500th point from Foligno. But what did this game mean? What did this game didn't mean a damn thing. It was just, hey, let's see how the prospects are doing. And they're doing fine. But this is quite the reach for a comparison, but it's the best comparison I got. This kind of felt like Mike Babcock just completely cucking Mike Modano out of his 1500th game. Just benched him right before the game. And he never ended up playing his 1500th game. I know that Foligno's probably gonna get another point in the regular season. Somebody's gonna take him, and he's gonna do the same thing he did here. He's gonna get like one goal and 4 assists the entire season. Congratulations. Oh wait, frick! He's here for another year. Damn it! But that just, it doesn't I don't know. It didn't mean anything. It didn't mean a damn thing. You didn't need to challenge this, and by challenging it, you just showed me that you just don't like people being happy. But anyway, play goes on, and TJ Brody. Oh my God, somebody lock TJ Brody up, because what he did to Chris Wagner was borderline I shouldn't make that joke now. I'm not going to make that joke. But it was quite possibly the most obvious hold I have seen all season. But he thankfully he gets called for it, and the Bruins end up getting a goal off of this, with Mike Riley just firing one right to Shogren. It bounces off, and Jake DeBrusk, he's back, baby. He just skates up and puts it through to cut the deficit to 2. Final 5, Bruins pull Swayman, and Pierre Engvall ends up getting the empty netter. Honestly, as this game didn't really mean anything, but because our true final game was last night, and I think it was last night against Buffalo. Oh, this game was sort of just sort of a let's see what's going on down in Providence game, and you know what? With that, I really don't know if the Bruins currently have an insane prospect pool, at least of players that have been in the system for a while. Studnicka, I mean, he had a few chances here and there, but it didn't. But not only did none of it materialize into anything, it sort of just felt like, oh, here's a chance that like you don't really have that great of a chance of making, but like the puck is on your stick, and you gotta make a move. Jack Ashan, I mean, he actually played not bad. I think next year the Bruins are gonna bring him up, are gonna use him a little bit more. At least I hope so. Well, if one or more of our D-men go down, I can see either him or Zaboral getting the move before Josh Brown does. But ultimately, this wasn't a disappointing game from the Bruins. This was more so a disappointing game from the Bruins and its prospect development. But I'm still unhappy about the Foligno thing. But I think that is it for tonight's episode of Into the Den. I will see you all for the playoffs. Click like if you like, click subscribe if you really like. Leave a comment down below if you leave a comment down below of which Bruins prospect do you think had the best game tonight. But doing any of these 3 really helps out with the algorithm. Just helps me grow, because I ain't really got much. But also down below in the comment in the description is my TikTok. Is my TikTok is the GoFundMe for the recovery of for Jake Thibault's paralysis, who is a kid from Massachusetts that ended up getting paralyzed in a freak hockey accident, and also down below is the GoFundMe for a family of a trans child fleeing Texas in the wake of horribly transphobic laws. And tell your friends that freaking Sheldon Keefe is a dick.